And here we are. It's not New Year's Day, so we're on the 2nd, but you know, the feeling lasts, I think. So Happy New Year. May it indeed be a happy new year. And I love the new trend in the wellness industry, at least what I've seen, especially in like the yoga industrial complex. Folks saying like dismantling New Year's resolutions. And to say like, let's just not try to hit any goals right now or invite anything new into our lives, and just, you know, take some time to slow down. So here we are, taking some time to slow down and move and breathe together. I do have someone who's trying to get into the room, so let me take care of that. But in the meantime, if you haven't yet, do find a spot on the floor lying down, please. So let's start lying down with knees bent and feet on the floor. And you can close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And bring your hands, if you'd like, to your breathing body. And focus on the sensation of your breath just as it is. Eyes soft or eyes closed. Breathing normal. If you'd like, you can begin to slow and to lengthen your breath. And notice the way your breath is moving your body. And if you haven't yet lengthened your breath, you might try counting. Maybe 4 counts or 5 counts to breathe in. And 4 or 5 to breathe out. If you feel comfortable doing so, you could also add a pause, brief or longer, at the top of your inhale, and one at the bottom of your exhale. Now let's take 3 more rounds of long and slow breath. Notice the way your breath moves your body in a 360-degree experience. Movement in the front of your torso and in the sides. And the movement of your breath in your back. So lying down, knees bent, feet on the floor. Welcome. If you're just joining us, glad you're here. And then, you know, just sweet and simple. Let's coordinate breath with movement for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get into the meat of our movement practice. So with your knees bent, feet on the floor, release your arms down by your sides. Eyes soft or eyes closed. And on an inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. Exhaling, lower your arms back down. Just like that, 2 more times. Breathing in, lift your arms overhead. Exhale them back down. The last one, in, arms up and overhead. Out and down. And then let's do dynamic bridge. So This time breathing in, lift your hips and lift your arms. Exhale back down. 2 more, inhale, hips and arms lift. Exhale down. 1 more. Follow your breath. You don't have to stay with me. I know we've all practiced together before, so you know how it goes. You're welcome to hold anything longer, come out sooner, that's all fine. Arms open in a T. And sometimes I've noticed when, even just opening the arms in a T can be a radical act. And when I was younger and really mobile and practicing all the time, this didn't really feel like anything. And now with some water under the bridge and, you know, slightly less asana practice, this is a stretch just to do this. So if you're feeling that just with arms out, it's like I was creating some big sensation, you can stay there and breathe. It's good yoga. If you want, you can also start twisting here. So knees bent and just rock your knees back and forth. So creating a little bit of movement, maybe a little bit of massage for the tissue in your lower back, your upper butt, the technical term. And maybe you roll a little bit more and create some more twist through your spine. And remember, this doesn't have to look like anything. Just sensation exploration. We might call this somatic movement or functional movement or yoga. Just moving side to side. Maybe you stretch one leg. You could also, if you are stretching the lifted upper leg as you twist, you might try lifting your foot more up to create some stretch sensation in your hamstrings, outer hamstrings. And then when you're done with that, you can come back to the middle. And let's make 3 snow angels with the arms. And then stretch legs long. Onto the floor, reach your arms up and overhead, pencil stretch, Tadaka Mudra. Breathe in, stretch long, long, long. And exhale, you can wiggle and release if you want. And then bend your knees and roll over. Make your way up to your hands and knees. And on your hands and knees, let's do some movement for the spine. So this could be cat and cow. Or you could wag your hips from side to side, wag your shoulders from side to side. Or if you'd like, you can trace your spine around in a circle. Like you're moving your rib cage, tracing the shape of a barrel. And if you're moving in circles, make sure you change the direction of your circle. And as you move through a spectrum, maybe there's one space that feels a little bit more resistant, and you could try pausing and staying in that space for an extra couple of breaths. And remember, this doesn't have to look like anything. Just moving. And then rearrange yourself into a more symmetrical position. Do a little costume adjustment here. And then breathing in, lift your heart, look forward. Exhale, now bring your hips back towards your heels and keep your arms long, straight and strong. Inhale, lift up, hands and knees, tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent and your heels lifting. Deep breath, just a little trial run in downward dog. And on your next inhale, lower your knees back down. Uncurl your toes, lift your chest. Exhale back toward this pranam or child's pose-like shape. So hips back, arms straight and strong. Take a breath. And then inhaling, lift up. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. And you can pedal your feet and shift your hips. Extra brownie points if you can take off your socks in downward facing dog. And then walk your feet and your hands toward each other. Bend your knees as much as you want to, need to, and bow forward. If you're like me and lower back just needs a little extra time to arrive in forward bending, you could come up to a chair with your hands, elbows on your knees. And then press through your feet as you inhale, stand up, arms up, and exhale, arms down. You can wiggle if you wanna. All right, let's go through 7 spinal movements. So breathing in, reach your arms up. Exhaling, lower your left arm and lean to the left. Inhale back to up to center. And then exhale, lower your right arm and lean to the right. Let's do that one more time each side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower left and lean left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower right, lean right. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, twist left, arms in cactus or a T. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. One more time, each side twisting. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, pause, breathe. And then any kind of back bend. So I'm going to put my hands behind my head and just lift chin and gaze. Breathe. When you're ready to come out of your back bend, inhale, come back to the center, reach up. And then exhale, bend your knees and elbows. And chair pose with cactus arms. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, lower left, lean left. Maybe you go a little deeper this time. But you can stay in the other first shape if you want. Breathing in, reach up, and then exhale, lower right, lean right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, reach up. Hold, breathe. You could hook your thumbs. And then any kind of back bend. Hands could come behind your head or behind your lower back. Lift your heart, look up. Breath doesn't have to be as deep and back bending, but try to keep breathing. And then inhale, reach up. And exhale, bend your knees and elbows. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees and elbows. All right, if you're not facing the long edge of your mat, you might walk your way or waddle your way in your chair pose with cactus arms toward the top of your practice space. Breathe in, and then exhale, dive forward. On an inhale, lift halfway. And then exhaling, plant your hands and walk back downward facing dog. Long, slow breath. What could you do here to be less ambitious? How could you make this shape less ambitious and more just a thing in and of itself? On an inhale, shift forward toward a plank or knees down plank. Exhaling, bend your elbows and lower down. Forehead on the floor, hands frame the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other on the back. Inhaling, lift your heart and lift your head, cobra pose. On an exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, and lift up and back to pranam. So toes curled under, arms straight and strong. On an inhale, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. And as you exhale, lower your heels. And in out. And then breathe deep. And step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, lift up halfway. Knees can bend a lot. Exhale, fold forward. Step your left foot back into a lunge. Knee up or knee down, your choice. Breathing here, hands can stay down or you can bring them to your front thigh, or inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. And hold here as you breathe. If your arms are lifting up, on an exhalation, try bending your elbows cactus and lower your back knee down, in and out. Inhaling, reach up, hips lift, arms lengthen. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend and lower. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower your hands and step back, downward facing dog or hands and knees or child's pose. Stay or breathe in, forward plank or knees down plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, pranam. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, heels down. Take a breath. Feel free to move inside the shape. And then walk or hop forward. Breathing in, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back, breathe. Just compassionately observe any difference in lunging between left and right. Hands can stay on the ground, or hands to your front thigh, or arms overhead. If you're lifting up and you want to add a little movement here, you could breathe out, bend your elbows cactus, and bend your back knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. And last one, if you want, inhale, reach, hips up, and then exhale, arms down, step back, downward dog, or hands and knees, or pranam. And hold here as you breathe in downward dog, hands and knees, or pranam. Remember, pranam is a lot like child's pose. Pranam means to bow or to prostrate. Toes curl under, knees down, arms stay straight and strong like downward facing dog. If you want, you could try inching your hands closer together. Notice what, if anything, changes in your shoulders. Keep breathing. And then you could try lifting up onto your finger pads, arms straight and strong. Notice what, if anything, changes in your shoulders. And when you're ready to come out, rise up, hands and knees. And then come to a tall kneeling position. So as you arrive in a tall kneeling position, if you want to, you can, I'm going to use my sweater, pad underneath your knees. And then step your right foot forward into a lunge and shift your hips forward any amount. And this is good yoga, just right here. So you can stay here, just becoming more aware of sensation. Or if you want, you can explore some upper body movement. Maybe there's some twisting. You could bring your left hand to your right knee and bring your right arm behind you. You could look side or look back. And this is really twisting more just in the upper part of the body. So no twisting through your lower back or hips. And come back to the middle. And then inhale, reach your arms up. This time try leaning to the right. So right hand could come down, or your forearm can come down. And lift up through left side body, through your left arm, and lean over toward the right. And then on an inhale, reach up. Exhaling, lower your hands down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee and thigh. So we're gonna do the same two movements, but with different leg position this time. So let's try twisting, left hand down. Right hand to your knee or your hip. A long, slow breath, or you can lift your arm up. If your back knee is down, great. If your back knee is up, great. If your knee is up, lift your thigh and hip. Left thigh, left hip, lifting up slightly. Try and find with your mind's eye and your energy body a long line from your heel to your head. And then when you're done, keep breathing. You can lower your right hand down and then turn your left heel down, righty bending, come up, warrior two. I'm gonna take a moment and lengthen my front leg. Okay, so warrior two. Deep breath. And then side angle pose. So lower your forearm toward your thigh and lift your left arm overhead. And you can stay right here if you feel plenty, or you can try lengthening your right hand down. One more full cycle of breath. Press through your feet, inhale, come up. Exhale, lower your arms down. Turn your toes to face the long edge of your mat. You can bend your knees and let's fold forward here. So bow forward and hands can come down toward your legs or toward the floor. If you want, this could be more of a wide-legged downward facing dog. Stretch your arms forward. Maybe you can lift up onto your finger pads. You're doing a little bit of shoulder targeting this morning. One more full cycle of breath. And then with breath, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And then turn towards your left. And lower your right knee down. Come up, hands to thigh, breathe. This is good, right here. You could bring your your right hand to your left knee and stretch your left arm back. Look side or look back. And if you're working on twist here, try to sense and feel for twisting just in your upper spine, middle, back, and neck. When you're ready to come out, breathe. Unwind, left hand to your knee. Inhale and lift your right arm up. And then exhale, lean over toward the left. Soft pace. Notice where your mind goes. Can you just become a body sensing and breathing? On an inhale, reach up, both arms. And then exhaling, lower your hands down. So again, we're gonna repeat the two movements of twisting and side bending with different legs. So high lunge, right hand down, keep breathing, left hand to your knee or your hip, or up in the sky. If your knee is lifting, back knee, try also lifting your thigh and hip some, almost like you're lessening the lunge. But if we strengthen the legs, sometimes the sensation of the shape increases. It might seem like we're doing less by lifting the hips, but we might actually find we're doing more. And then lower your hand when you're ready to come out, turn your back heel down, inhale, rise up, warrior two on the left side. Breathe here, soft face. And then side angle pose, elbow to knee, right arm overhead. Try and keep your face soft. Maybe left hand reaches down. One more full cycle of breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, arms down, turn your toes, and bow forward. Maybe this time hands reach toward your ankles or your heels. And take 3 full cycles of breath. And when you're ready to come out, lift your hands forward under your shoulders. Pause with a long spine. Try and lift your low belly in. Push the ground away from you slightly with your hands. Turn your right toes out about 10 degrees. And notice if even just doing that changes sensation. You might even lean your hips back some. It's changing the vector through your leg. And it's okay if you don't feel anything changed. Bend your right knee, walking your hands right. For half squat, Ardha Malasana or Skandasana. So you can stay here, outside edge of your left foot on the floor. Or you could come up onto your left heel. Lower your hips down, maybe your hands free up and you bring your hands together in front of your heart. You could also turn head and heart to the left, looking towards your left shoulder, looking over your left shoulder. Breathe. And then lower hands, lift hips. If you want, you can fold in the middle, take a breath. And then turn your left toes out 5 to 10 degrees, and maybe this shifts things enough. Just notice if you feel any difference in sensation, maybe in the back of your leg. It's okay to feel stretching in the like behind your knee, just not a huge sensation, maybe just very mild. And then hands walk over toward the left. You can bend your left knee. Outside edge of your right foot can stay on the floor. Or you can try coming up onto your right heel. Hips dip down. And you might be able to free up your hands. And push slightly. And turn, look up past the right shoulder. When you're ready to come out, hands down, hips up. Come one more time toward a forward bend-like position. You can forward bend all the way again, I'm going to pause in a half forward bend. Breathe. And then step your feet in. You could toe heel your feet in. And under you, find your Uttanasana, standing forward bend. If you want, you can hold on to your shins, your calves, or your heels. And then in your forward bend, turn to the side, so you're facing short edge of your mat, and walk yourself out to a downward facing dog. Stay or vinyasa. Inhale, plank or knees down plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pranam. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, lower your heels. Inhale, forward plank. And you can stay here or try some different options here in your plank. So knees could come down. You could try lowering your elbows down. So maybe knees and elbows come down, or maybe knees up and elbows down. So wherever you are, try and take 3 more full cycles of breath. And then lower down. And you could lower your hips. If your elbows are down, you could end up here in Sphinx pose. Maybe let's meet all together in Sphinx. So elbows can walk further forward than the shoulders for a bit of a softer back bend. Or you can try keeping your elbows under your shoulders. Keep your arms strong, lift your heart. Maybe even strengthen your legs. And when you're done, walk your hands forward, keep breathing. Arms forward, forehead on the floor. And try to take a really big breath so that you feel and sense your breath in your lower back and in your hips. Now bend your left knee and slide your left arm back. So right arm is still forward. Left knee bent, left arm back. And you can even try walking your fingers away from each other on the diagonal. This is good, yoga. You can stay right here, or you can try and reach for your left foot. For Ardha Dhanurasana, half bow. So this is good here too. Maybe you get some stretching sensation for your front thigh or your front hip. So you can stay or kick your foot into your hand. And with the strength of your leg and the grip of your fingertips, pull your upper body up and back with your leg. Lift your heart, and you can stay, or your right arm can lift. Your right leg can lift. And when you're ready to come down, lower. Stretch your left leg and your left arm long, again, and away from each other. Big breath. And now bend your right knee. And take your right arm back. And you can try stretching your fingers away from each other. You can try reaching your right hand towards your right foot. Maybe you bend your elbow and squeeze your heel towards your bun. Try and press your hip bones and your pubic bone down. Breathe and stay, or try to keep your wrist straight. Grip your foot with your fingertips. And then kick your foot into your hand and use your leg to pull your upper body back and up. You can stay right here, or you can try lifting your left hand and try lifting your left leg. And when you're ready to come out, release, head down, right arm and leg lengthen. Big breath. All right, now both arms back and both knees bend. So hands can be on the floor, finger pads on the floor. Knees can bend any amount. You can stay or try lifting your head and chest. Maybe you reach back in the direction of your feet for bow pose. And kick any amount. Kick your feet into your hands. One more full cycle of breath. And then make your way down. You can rest your head on your hands or turn your head to one side with your arms back, palms facing up. Breathe. Try to sense and feel for your breath in your back, in your lower back, and in your hips. And then make your way up to this sphinx-like shape again. And let's try Thoraco diaphragmatic breathing in this position. So I'll talk you through it. So the idea here is to set yourself up so that you're comfortable, not experiencing too much of a stretch, and that you can sense and feel for the bony landmarks around the bowl of your abdomen on the floor. So ribs, low ribs, and hip points, pubic bone. So there's a bony landmarks. It's kind of like if this were a pool. It would be the edge of the pool. And we're gonna bring attention to the waters of the belly moving inside of that bony ring. So deep, full breath in, try to inflate your belly. Notice what happens in your back and hips. I'm gonna exhale. This time as you breathe in, try gently pulling back with your arms and dragging your rib cage forward. Then try and inflate your belly. And then exhale, soften. I'm gonna try that one more time. So as you breathe in, lift your chest slightly, pull back on your arms like you're trying to drag yourself forward on the floor, and then really try and inflate your belly. And then exhale. Soften everything. You can stay here just for an easy breath, just kind of hanging in the hammock of your bones. And then we're gonna try one more version here. This isn't for everybody. I would say if you've already eaten a nice big breakfast to avoid this, or if you have just any discomfort around holding your breath in, you can skip the hold. So on an inhale, again, same thing, pull back, lift your heart. Now you can breathe out right away if you want, or hold your breath in and tug more, like you're gonna scoot yourself forward. And then when you feel ready to breathe out, go ahead. Regular breath. Now we're gonna try doing that same thing on exhalation. So same invitation here. If holding your breath doesn't sound like a good thing to do right now, or if it causes any intense discomfort, then definitely just breathe normal. So on an inhale, pull back, lift up. And then stay here, exhale. Try and hold your breath out, bow your head. And then pull forward here. With your breath held out, pull forward, head bowed. When you're ready to breathe in, go ahead. And breathe out. And when you're done, you can rest your head on your hands or turn your head your second favorite way with your arms relaxed back and pause. So thoraco diaphragmatic breathing. The idea here is just to experience the muscles of respiration and the shape of your breathing body doing slightly different things than you might normally when you breathe. They're waking up the different ways in which we can take breath in and release breath. Let's turn over onto the back. So turning onto your back, bend your knees again like we did at the beginning of practice. Feet on the floor, pause. Notice now your relationship to this shape, your body's relationship to this shape. Any change in awareness or change in sensation since the first time you assumed this pose this morning? And now any version of bridge pose. So if you'd like, this can be more restorative. If you have a block handy, you could lift your hips up and slide a block underneath your hips. Or you can practice a more active bridge. Knees bent, bend your elbows. And before you lift your hips up, press down into your upper arms and try and arc your spine away from the floor, tucking your shoulder blades in and under you more. So I'm already in a little bit of a back bend shape before lifting hips. And you can stay right here. Arms might extend, palms up. And if you're up for it this morning, you could try scooting your elbows and shoulders under you more, and try interlacing your fingers on the floor beneath your hips. Imagine a block between your knees. Keep breathing. Hug your knees isometrically toward each other. Chest toward chin. And then chin away from chest slightly. When you're ready to come out, if you've got your fingers interlaced, you can release. You might return to the bent elbow position. And then walk your shoulders out from under you a little bit and lower your spine back down. Pause, hips down, feet down, hands relaxed or on your breathing body. One after the other, bring your knees in towards your body. And you can hold on to your knees. But knees can be more wide towards your shoulders if that suits you, or you could explore bringing your knees closer together. If your knees come together, maybe you interlace your fingers or hold your wrists, or you could try holding your elbows. Curl in if you feel ready for that. Breathe into your back. And then release your left leg. If you're curled in, make sure your head is back down. So left foot on the floor. Hug your right leg in more. And then flex your foot and reach toward your right foot with your left hand, like you're coming toward a sleeping pigeon shape. So right foot, left hand. So your right knee can start to open toward the right. And any amount, hug your leg in towards your body. Try not to just pull on your foot, but rather hold your knee as well and hug your thigh in, so that the movement is really originating from your outer butt, your hip, and there's no torque in your knee. You can stay here, or left leg could lengthen forward and down, so you're in a sleeping pigeon-like shape. You can hold onto your foot, of course, with both hands, as long as you're not experiencing any pull in your outer knee. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready to come out, there's no rush. Return to knees bent and feet on the floor. Maybe you wiggle a little bit, side to side, or rock from side to side. And now bring your left knee in. You hold on to your left knee. Try to use your hands and arms to hold on to your leg so that your left leg can relax. I'm shaking my leg to make sure that the muscles relax. And then something like a pigeon shape. So reach in the direction of your left foot with your right hand. You don't have to hold your foot. You could just draw your leg in. Maybe you hold on to your outer shin. Mindful of your knee. Hug your shin in toward your chest. Breathe. Note compassionately any difference in the two sides of the body. Relax your face, your eyes, skin, your eyebrow, skin. And you can stay here or extend your right leg. Remember, this doesn't have to look like anything. Start from the inside, from the felt sense of breath and body moving. And when you're ready, you can come out, bend your right knee, and lower your left foot. So both knees bent, feet on the floor, pause. Okay, let's do one more moving meditation. So bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees like a book. So reclining bound angle pose. Take a deep, so we're going to move the knees toward each other, taking about 30 seconds. So we're going to slowly move the knees together and the feet onto the floor. So take a deep breath in. Exhale and focus awareness on drawing your belly toward your spine and your spine toward the floor. Keep that, and then breathing easy. Start your ascent, taking about 30 seconds to draw the knees toward each other. It is very common to shake here. At a certain point, the feet will want to naturally turn, so you can do that. And we have about 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, knees together. Then soles of the feet together, knees open like a book. Different times in my, the lifetime of my practice, I've experienced more or less shaking in this pose. Today I'm experiencing a lot of shaking. Let's try it 1 minute this time. So deep breath in. Exhale long and slow. Focus on drawing your belly in and down. So the result might be a slight pelvic tilt up. spine toward the floor. And then slowly, taking the next minute, bring your knees up and together. So keep counting on your own. I'm gonna mute myself over here because the rest of the house is getting loud. Okay, hope I didn't leave you hanging. So you can bring your knees all the way together if they're not yet, and then let your knees fall. Open again, soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath. And then extend your legs and make your way in the direction of Shavasana, final relaxation. So take your time as you get more comfortable in your relaxation shape. Feel free to put on socks to cover yourself with a blanket. Make any more little adjustments so you feel a bit more comfortable, and then do your best to do nothing at all. Let your breath come back to an easy, effortless rhythm. And we'll stay here in Shavasana for another minute or so. And we'll come back up to sit for one last exercise together. So rest here. Good. A deep breath. And start to move again. Toes and fingers. And feet and hands. Legs moving. Arms moving. And whole body moving. And bring your knees in toward your body. Turn to your side and make your way up to sit. And as you come up to sit, pause. You can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bow your head to your heart. And let's stay here. Just 3 long breaths. Thank yourself for creating the time and space to practice today. Such an honor to be here in this way with you. Namaste.